So this is a very special gathering. So let's start with the most important thing. How long did you take to get ready for this session?
So when I was told I'll be part of this panel called Super Moms, for a second I was like, me, really?
It's great to be on this spontaneous chat with you all.
It's been a wonderful journey, of course, to become a mom. You make a mistake once, but I did it twice.
Apart from the joys of motherhood and everything else, she just brought so much abundance into my life in so many ways.
You know, it's a very tough job. You don't want to lie to your child and, give them these wrong ideas, but you have to give them the fact in a very nice way.
Actually, I thought I would never become busier, but then becoming a mom really opened that possibility.
Because in lockdown, I think we all had to come up with a lot of creative solutions, with trying to manage time.
I really want to know how she impacted you as a person that you are today. As a mom, what kind of influence has she had on you?
Jai Gurudev everyone. So this is a very special gathering of super moms. So we've been doing it with a lot of different set of people, and Pavithra was one who reached out to me and said, you're doing with youngsters and different groups. Why not moms? We also have our questions and we also want to share our challenges and best practices. So here we are. Everything starts with a sankalpa, and that's a very pavitra sankalpa. So we got 5 super moms here with me, and I would like them to introduce themselves because they know themselves best. Yeah. Let's start with the one who's most reluctant, Puja Handa from London.
Thanks, Dee. Hi, everyone. Hi, Super Moms. It's great to be on this spontaneous chat with you all. I'm looking forward to how the rest of this afternoon unfolds. So I'm Puja, and I'm mom to a 5-year-old little girl called Arna. And she's a real game changer in my life. I never thought I would be a mom, and she came into my life, and I can't imagine life without her, as I'm sure you all can say about your children. And I'm an art of living teacher for the last 20 years, and I travel all over. Now I'm currently stuck in London with COVID, but otherwise I travel all over teaching. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm from Botswana, and happy to be here today. So looking forward to hearing from you.
Okay. So a few things about Puja. She talked about being spontaneous, and we'll see how this pans out today's discussion. She spontaneously became a mom for the second time because of Samson. That's the new puppy she's got.
Yes.
And she used to be in Kenya for quite some time in Nairobi. And whenever she had to go from Nairobi to Botswana, she would just take a little detour and come to the Bangalore ashram. So that's how the place that I am in, it is such a magnet for all of you, of course, but for Puja. Okay, so over to Amarja.
Hi everyone. Hi Super Moms, and hi man on mission, Mr.Mom. So when I was told I'll be part of this panel called Super Moms, for a second I was like, me, really? But then I realized every mom is a super mom, isn't it, in her own right? So I was like, yeah, why not? So a little bit about me. I've done quite a few interesting things in life. I taught the art of living courses to youth for about 7-8 years. Then I went on to work with Sri University based out of Orissa to handle their corporate relations and create all kinds of processes and protocols for students there. Then the lucky break came when I realized I was a mom to be, and then I took a break, like a proper break after almost 15 years of working. Then actually I thought I would never become busier, but then becoming a mom really opened that possibility that there is nothing called rest once you become a mom. In every state, there is something or the other going on in the head about the child, about the things at home, or something or the other is always running at the back. So when I became a mom, and Vashishta, my son, who's now 5 years old, when he was 5 months old, that's when I realized this is getting too monotonous. So then I decided to get into freelance copywriting, and I've been doing it for about 4 years now. And honestly, doing that along with being a mom has been a very, very busy journey, but a very, very fulfilling journey at the same time. So in that sense, I feel it's been a very enriching life for me. Apart from these things, I also do a little bit of cooking, baking, painting, and fighting with Dinesh Dada, obviously. That's like one of my most favorite pastimes. I take great pride in giving him stiff competition in wordplay, and let's hope some of it gets revealed in this session too.
Yes, so I'll start with the praise for Amarja. She's quite a creative one and very prolific with her writing and excellent with her cooking, because whenever we have that that desire, we just hop in. She stays nearby. In fact, if I shout loud enough, maybe she'll hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go to Singapore and welcome Anjana.
Yeah. Hi, everyone, all the super moms and all the people who are listening to us. Yeah, so it's been a wonderful journey, of course, to become a mom. Same, never thought of. You make a mistake once, but I did it twice. So I have two lovely daughters. One is 11 years old, and other is 8 years old. And yeah, it's been a very different journey once you become a mom, because it was earlier you are married, but you are still free to go anywhere. So I've been teaching from 2003 and teaching and traveling a lot. But with first one, I still do it, having a support of my family. But with the second one, yes, I really got stuck to one place. And but of course, I did a great job. I will say I trained volunteers to train my daughters to take care of my daughters, so that I can do much more in art of living. And by profession, I did my MCA and worked for a few years. Then I realized, it's pleasant to bring smiles than writing boring quotes. So yeah, so it has been a wonderful journey in art of living, and also very adventure journey being a mom. Yes.
So just like Devi Durga has 18 arms, so Anjana took it quite literally. She trained a lot of her volunteers to take care of her kids, Priyambada and Gaurangi, and they are quite a handful, believe me. And well, Shavina, can we?
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Shavina, and of course, hello to all the super moms. My daughter arrived very late in my life. I had kind of given up hope that I would ever be a mom, and I was 42 when she was born. She's now an 11-year-old. Her name is Adya, and Adya means a gift. I mean, it's another name for Goddess Durga also, but it also means a gift. And I think she's come like a gift in my life, big blessing. And earlier I was like on the career front. Earlier I was a travel agent. I worked in a travel firm for about 10 years. And then I got into art of living and became an art of living faculty. So now I am enjoying making people journey inward rather than out in the world. And I love languages, so that's a little bit about me. I love languages. I've learned a lot about French, but now I'm currently doing Spanish. Also, maybe to help my daughter out, and I just enjoy it. Yeah, it's lovely being here, and let's see how it all unfolds.
Okay, and she is also craniosacral therapist. She's. I have to tell you that. I mean, I have to introduce that.
No, it's always there at the top of my mind, but yeah. Somehow I forgot.
And she's also been a teacher. Which school did you taught? The American school.
Yes. So I dabbled with that for a few years. I was teaching little kids in the American school in Delhi. And that was also a very, very joyful experience. Being with the small kids when they are like 3, 4, 5 years, so full of innocence. It's so rewarding being with them. So, yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. But then, of course, Art of Living came along and everything dropped off.
So if we start the topic of education, then I think all of us will have to shut up because she's very passionate about all the changes that need to happen in Indian education, so to speak.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's very heartfelt, yes.
Yes, and over to you, Pavithra.
Hello, everybody. It's so lovely to connect with so many moms from around the world. This just reminds me of this. I was just gradually talking to a mother when I had just gotten married, and we were in England when she was playing, and then that was my first trip abroad, and the club cricket works like a family there. So, each person takes up a responsibility. And, I was just gradually mentioning them because we were vegetarians. They used to take time out to bring food to, make sure we got vegetarian food and everything. And, I was telling them, I feel like a family here. And, just like how my mother, takes, important details like what my child would like. So, that mother casually mentioned to me that mothers are mothers throughout the world. So this thing has just stuck with me, and, I can't just realize that importance today when I connect with such mothers. I'm so grateful to you, Dinesh Bhaiya, that you put this together. I never thought I would be doing this with these amazing mothers. And just a small chat and introduction, and I can relate to each one of them now. To introduce about me, I've been working initially in financial sectors, but I thought something was missing. I was just, doing the random thing, going to office and coming back, which I didn't enjoy because I was not getting to spend the money that I was making. So then I met my husband and we got married. He's a cricket coach who travels extensively. So traveling being our passion, we have visited a lot of countries, and that has been a very enriching experience. So once I had Rishabh, my son, who's 10 years old, I really enjoyed being in the company of children. I think that brought out a lot of talent, and they just made me realize the importance of the present moment, because they could fight this moment and next moment they'll forget it, and they'll be together, and there is so much learning from children. So I went on to pursue my international Montessori training, and that's where I found my passion and work merging together. Right now I'm on a break because my son's taking up to cricket now, and so he needs one steady parent to ferry him around everywhere. So yeah, that's pretty much about me.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. So as I was saying, it was Pavitra's idea that we should get together and discuss things. So let's start with the most important thing. Let me ask a question to everyone. Everyone can jump in at any point. Yeah. How long did you take to get ready for this session? Each one of you.
4 minutes. With the help
2
of my
minutes.
son.
2 minutes.
Okay, the viewers can type it out whether you feel they are lying or they are telling the truth. Yeah, go ahead, the others.
5 minutes.
Yeah, it was just a 2 minute thing. Yeah.
And we are supposed to believe that.
Of course, we are meditators. We glow within.
You are talking
Actually,
to
before
Supermom.
lockdown, if you had asked me this question before lockdown, I would have said a much longer time. I don't know what has happened in lockdown, but now it's just 5 minutes to get ready.
Too many things.
Yeah.
I know that if we have to go for a show in London, if it's at 6 o'clock, we have to tell Puja that it's at 5, so that we are on time for the show. And Anjana,
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Exactly.
you just hopped from another session. That's why.
Yes.
Okay, now that since that is out of the way, so let's go back a little bit, and maybe you can share about your idea of becoming a mom. Was it planned, or was there too many yes, no, or when? Yeah, or like in Anjana's case, yes, once it happened, now yes or no for the second one. Yeah, your thoughts on this? Anyone can start.
So, okay, I'll start with myself. So yeah, we were married like 6 years, and then we thought, okay, now we should have a family, and so we started planning. And of course, we didn't need much time for planning. I was pregnant the day we thought, okay, we want to have a kid. And the second was really unplanned. In fact, when I was when I knew that I'm pregnant for the second time, I thought of aborting a child, because it one itself takes a lot of time, energy, and from a finance point of view. Then, but we thought, we had a lot of discussion, and especially with Baba. He said, "I am the second one," and I've done a great job to the world. I'm sure that your second one also will do something crazy, and of course she is doing it, making me crazy. And here I go with the second one. Yeah, so second one was completely unplanned one, but I'm very happy to have two. It has its own pros and cons. Yeah.
Okay, so I can go next if no one else is.
You
For
don't have to be
me,
so prim and proper. You can just think it's like a yeah.
okay, so for me, I had kind of given up. We'd been married for 16 years, and we tried. Then after that, I was done with trying, and for me, it was like, no way am I going in for an IVF or any of that kind of stuff, and I will just let it be. And then in the meantime, I said 100% into art of living. I was traveling all over India, and taking courses, doing all those kind of things. So for me, when the news of my pregnancy came, frankly, I am ashamed to say I was a little upset. I was not very happy. I think I was in non-acceptance for many months, that how could this happen? Because it took away all my independence. Suddenly, because I was 42 years old, I was told, you have to be on bed rest, you cannot do this. I was fine, but I had to be on bed rest. Not really bed rest, but whatever. And I couldn't go out, I couldn't do anything, and I was not allowed to do any seva. And for me, it was like as though like they had clipped my wings, and I was like, how can this be happening to me? And I still remember once I was coming back from the doctor, and I was very upset. I was very, very sad. And Dinesh had called, and he had told me, he'd understood, of course, that I was not happy. And he said, what happened? And I just expressed my grievance. And he said, Guruji says that there is nothing that can happen in your life without तुम्हारे जिंदगी में एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिल सकता मेरी रजामंदी के बगैर. And somehow that brought me into some kind of acceptance, and it was like, okay, fine, if Guruji thinks this is right for me, then it is right, then it's all right. And I'm so glad I came into that mode, and then Adya was born, because I feel that she brought, apart from the joys of motherhood and everything else, she just brought so much abundance into my life in so many ways. And I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, so for me, when I was a little girl, if you had asked me, when I was a little girl, I used to say I want 6 children, and I used to always say I'm going to have a massive family, and I'm going to have 6 kids, and I even knew their names in my mind and everything, And then as I grew older and stuff, and then things happened in my life, personal circumstances, a lot of changes. And then I was teaching and traveling, and then I'd reached a certain stage in my life where I actually thought it's not going to happen, and I was okay with that, because those who know me know I love to travel, and I love being all over the place, and I love teaching. So that really took over my life. It took away that thought of ever wanting 6 children, and it was like a distant dream. And out of the blue, this desire, after so many years, after so many years of again being married and stuff, this desire suddenly came of wanting to be a mother. And again, it was quite late in the game for me as well, and I thought, okay, is this even a possibility? Is this even something I want to do? So many thoughts, because freedom thoughts, traveling and teaching, age-wise, just will it hold my wings back? So many thoughts. And then I remember going to Gurudev and asking him, this desire has come up, and should I become a mother? And he gave his blessing immediately, and very soon after that, I was able to be a mom. And here I am today, and I actually believe there is no, there's like, what you just said, there is no other way my life could have been. I cannot imagine life without Arna, so this could not have happened without his blessing, and it was meant to happen. And I believe also the fact that I had her late in my life, I feel I have a different appreciation for her, and I've never felt I've given up. I had to stop traveling and teaching for the first 2 years of having her naturally. I was 100% with her. And even though I was teaching in London, but I really gave up a lot of what I used to love doing. But I never felt it was a sacrifice, because it had come after so many years into my life that I actually thought, this is what I'm meant to be doing right now with my life. So yeah, not 6 children, but trust me, she's equivalent to 6 children. So.
So at what age did you think you should be a mother? We'll do the maths. Our nice 5.
I'm not giving that away.
Is that what you do? You laugh when you get little...
Yes. Who's left? Next, please share.
Okay, I need to shift a bit because my back.
Yeah, so I don't know when we always wanted to have children, but with the travel and this thing, it really didn't happen, as soon. But we were happy traveling. I think I got pregnant with Rishabh when we were 3 years into our marriage, and I still remember that day because I was never expecting him. I think every woman can relate to this. Like, when you're really expecting, okay, this time it's going to happen, it never happens then. And, I clearly remember we had gone to the Bangalore ashram and we had come back home, and I was still expecting, okay, why haven't I got my period yet? And then, my mother's like, have you tried? I mean, like, probably you could be pregnant. And I just can't, articulate what I felt at that moment, because it was a true blessing. It just happened, and I didn't know. I didn't know if I was ready, but, everything just came to me as it happened. I think I became a mom with him. I grew up as a mom with him because he taught me a lot of things. I think to live for a child is totally a different ball game. Like, being a mom is the biggest privilege I've ever done. The day I held him in my hands, I thought there couldn't be anything more important than that. Like, whatever I had achieved in life was so immaterial at that moment when I just held him. And, that feeling, I think every mom feels it. It's something, it's a big blessing, because I remember, as everyone shared, I had a, tough pregnancy. I had to be on bed rest. And the best part was, it was very surprising. Guruji had visited Chennai, I think all over my trimester. He was here every 3 months. So, that was very surprising. He used to visit once a year when, we have big courses. And, every time they would say, the baby's so low lying, you could, it could be aborted any time. You need to be very careful. So I just went up to him in one of the meetings. I said, oh God, I'm so stuck. I feel so bad that I have to be sleeping all the time. I'm on the bed. And then he's like, everything's going to be fine. And after he was born, as months, we had a tough time and he had to go through a lot of tests. And when we took him to Guruji, he said, he's going to get over it when
I think she needs to log in again.
Okay. Anyone else wants to go?
Yeah, so I just have a couple of things to share on this. So, first of all, for me, life has been slightly different in the sense of this entire experience of motherhood. My mom, who's a huge inspiration for me, even to this day, I remember everything she's done for us in so many ways. She's like a huge, huge, huge inspiration for me. She passed away when I was 19. So then I'm the eldest in the family. We are 3 siblings. So in some ways, I sort of became a pseudo mom to my siblings. So when my cousins used to get married, when they were getting pregnant, and when they used to share their mother stories, I would be like, this is pretty much similar to what I'm doing with my siblings. I cook for them, I clean their clothes, I fold their clothes, I go after their homework. It's like, this is all motherhood is about. That's how I used to feel about it. And then when I got married and when that sense of me, my family, all that started happening, I really, really wanted a child, and I got married after a 3-year fight with my dad and all that stuff. And then Raghav decided to fall in love with Gurudev. So the whole dynamic shifted in our lives because his entire world literally revolved around Gurudev. And he was like, when we got the best, why do we even need a child? And it just was a different tangent. It took me a lot of time to adjust to that fact and accept that, okay, fine, this is also one way of life. And then it so happened that he went full-time teaching the courses, and I also joined him in a bit after a stint with Infosys and Deloitte. And somewhere along the line, when I was teaching courses with him, when I was grooming students and when I was helping them evolve, again that thought crossed that this is also one shade of motherhood. This is also one aspect of motherhood, of nurturing, caring, grooming, all that. It felt like that. Then time passed and we were pretty much full-time teachers of the art of living and doing all gurus. It went on for like that for about 10, 12 years. And one fine day I realized if I don't have a child of my own, I'm again going to come back in a human form. That much is sure. That was like, oh my God, I have to do something about it. And that's when we went and met Gurudev, and I told him I really have this strong wish, and it's not like I want it for sure, I don't want it for sure, it's just that I don't want to take the decision. Just let me know whatever is good for us. And then Gurudev said, let it be. Which if it happens, it's okay. If it doesn't happen, it's okay. So we went back to SSU. We were at SSU that time, and things were going on. And about a year after we met Gurudev, it did happen that we had the child in the womb. Then again, it was another journey altogether. I mean, all those feelings and that interest suddenly shifts from everything else to you, your well-being, what's happening inside you, what food you are eating. It's like I've never taken care of myself the way I did when I was pregnant. Then around the 5th month of pregnancy, I got to know there was a complication in his head, in the head of the baby. And that day, my world literally fell to pieces around me. I was like, this can't be happening to me. I just couldn't accept it. I mean, I was like, I did all this seva 100%. I took care of so many people 100%. I became a source of strength to so many people. How could this happen to me? It was like that for me. And then thankfully, because of all the care, attention, and of course, lots of blessings and love from Gurudev and good medical care, the baby did arrive, and hale and hearty with no issues at all. And since then, life has been a definite roller coaster. There is no predictability to my days, except that at the end of the day, there's a lot of joy. And since the time he started speaking, I keep getting a lot of gyan from him. Like now when Dinesh Dada said, how many minutes did you take to get ready? I actually took 4 minutes because all I had to do was wear something on the top because nothing else is going to be visible. And I took Vashishta's help to organize the lamp. He came along and he said, all the best, Mama, rock, like that. So these are moments that make it really like, oh my God, this is wonderful, like that. And whatever I thought, in the sense of nurturing, caring and everything, versus being a mom to a child is really a different ballgame. And I seriously feel it's a big blessing that only women have, and I'm really, really glad to be a mom.
But I'm surprised at the silence that is around you guys.
Maybe it's your influence as the advanced course teacher.
Achha? No, around you. With the kids around you, yeah. It's in
Yeah,
fact
that's because
that is when you have to be most careful if there is silence around and you have a baby at home.
yeah. So right taking care of Vashishta, so that's taken care of for me.
Same here. Vivek is taking care, but I don't think he's taking care. I can hear noises.
And I send Adya and Coco up to the terrace.
Oh.
And Cubs has taken Anna to the park. So
Dinesh, the basically all of us wanted to give you 100% attention.
Ah.
Rishabh is here, he's just shy.
Yeah, I saw him earlier on.
Oh,
Would
good.
you like to come? Would you like to come on camera?
You want to say hi to Dinesh Bhaiya? Come here. Come.
Come on, he has to be a cricketer. So millions of people are going to watch him. Hi. Oh.
hi.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what do you prefer?
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Oh, you have a ball in your hand.
Hi.
We're just practicing.
Okay. Cool. So,
So here's my bundle of joy.
was it that? Oh, was
Say
it
hi to
that?
Dinesh Mama. Nice. Say hello, everyone.
Hi.
He said, "Why are you doing this to me?"
Yes. So, what is the toughest question that you've had from your kids?
Oh, I had one recently.
Hmm.
Vashishta asked me, "Why do people die?" And I was like, for a second, I was okay. It's too early for this. Then I just took a deep breath, actually, and then I told him, "See, just like your toys, when they grow, when you use them for long, they sort of break here and there, and then you have to give them away like that. You know, when we also become old, we need to move on so that we can become new and come again." He heard the whole thing and he said, "Oh, okay," and then he went away.
Yes. So, as super moms, you have to be ready with super answers. Yeah. Go ahead. Tell me what difficult questions you've had to face.
I mean,
I can't
there's so
remember
many.
though. I think we just
Yeah.
go with the flow, and in case I don't know if I don't have an answer for him, I always tell him I'll get back to him. And because it's a very tough job, you don't want to lie to your child and give them these wrong ideas, but you have to give them the fact in a very nice way. So, like Amarja said, the death question and stuff, it's very hard for them to accept, especially if they're seeing, somebody like their grandparents or somebody within the family leave them. So, yeah, I think it's very important not to lie to them, but, find a way yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Lying is just not going to work, especially with these kids who have so much exposure and they're very smart. I don't think I was this smart when I was that age. My God, their acumen and the way they understand things, it's like another level altogether. And their reasoning. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a lawyer when I'm talking to my child.
Oh, yes. I have
Completely.
told her, you're master negotiator, and why don't you become a lawyer when you grow up? See, it seems to be your calling in life.
Yeah.
She can argue for anything, for, against, everything. She's got it all ready.
And for the same thing, in a minute, they can change sides and give a convincing argument.
Absolutely. For, against, both.
They are not attached to any one point of view.
Not at all. Not
That's
at all.
proving themselves right.
And their focus, my God, what Vashishta, I've so many times I've tried to distract him from whatever he wants that particular moment. He listens to everything, he plays along, and then he comes back to it straight ahead. So it basically becomes a war of wills where I lose most of the times.
Another is the bargain thing. If I do this, what will I get?
Oh, yes.
Negotiation. That's
So
master
bargain
negotiator.
goes, oh God, if I eat today rasam and rice, do I get a pasta in the evening? So yeah, so it's completely a lot of bargain.
But it's
I have
amazing
had
how
marriage-
genetics also plays such a big, because I know how I used to negotiate with my mother so much, and I see Arna doing the same thing with me now. Now she comes, she'll phone because she knows I have to be on my phone for work, and she'll come and she'll say, "Mama, you want your phone back? Go into your cupboard and take out one of your handbags and give it to me, and then you get your phone back." You know, so, and I'm like, "You're only 5. You're not supposed to be doing this when you're 5. I did this with my mom when I was a teenager." You know, so.
Yeah.
My daughter is 11 going on 21.
And mine is 12, but the way she's growing up now, my wardrobe is getting empty. Every day, suddenly I see my track pant. Oh God, now it's Priyamvada wearing. Oh, the t-shirt is gone. So now I'm actually like robed in my own house.
Robed nahi, robbed.
Robed in my own house.
No, she's talking about wardrobe, so it is robed also. Okay.
No. I know the Gujju, okay?
You know the party also, no?
So tell me, how has your interactions, most of your teachers' interactions, made you a better teacher? Hi, Priyamada.
Oh, I'll take this question first. In the original, Priyamada is saying something?
No. She's just remembering Adya. Yeah.
Okay. In the original format of the Yes Plus program, we used to have the confrontation process. I think that's made me a really tough mom. Because so many times I relate to it, because either I'm confronting him or he is confronting me. And like I said in the previous question, it's really a war of wills. So that is one thing. And second thing is being aware. That has really, really helped me a lot around him. There are so many times when I'm almost at the verge of losing my cool and like really going bombastic and shouting at him. But at that minute, the little awareness, okay, it's just a child, this will pass. Those things come, and that moment I don't shout. So that has helped. And of course, deep breaths, big time.
I think for me, acceptance. I don't think, though I used to teach the acceptance point, I don't think I really understood it until I had Adya. First, of course, as I said, the first acceptance was that, oh, my life is going to change and this is how it is. And then later also, I think children teach you acceptance at every step.
Mm.
And
Patience,
acceptance also. Yeah. And that she's really taught me that. And
Is that how you become a good craniosacral therapist also?
of course.
Dinarada, I think it's high time you tell everybody that you're also her teacher for CS.
I've been trained by the best, so I have no choice but to be the best.
Yes, I was just wishing for compliments. Thank you. Yes. Puja, you have any?
Yeah, I think for me it's just definitely patience is one of the things. With as you all said, as you become a mother, you just have to become more patient in every aspect of your life. And I also think some form of stability came into me after becoming a mom. And I think also because your whole perspective, and they actually say your whole rewiring happens of your brain. So I used to. I wouldn't say feverish, but I would say I used to be a lot more constantly wanting to chase things, do things, wanting to have, every minute had to be accounted for. And after becoming a mom, you just really sit back and you really look at life from a different perspective. And you really start, I think, another thing that started happening is a lot more gratitude and appreciation for even the things that I took for granted before, and it could be even like health that you have, those of you, some of you mentioned, that when you wanted to teach, Anjana was saying that after she had her first, she could still go out and travel and teach because she had the family support, but after the second came, things took a different stand again. But you really start seeing who the helping hands are in your life and how they're allowing you to continue with your dream to teach and what your support network is and things that you took for granted before, you really start valuing and appreciating, so yeah, just a whole different outlook on life.
I've heard you give some stories or examples on your courses about a wise mom. How would she respond to this situation? And a not so wise mom, how would she respond?
Yes, I do. The mom with the bad temper and the mom who's too sweet. So you have to find the mom who shows anger and is not angry. I always say that because I can relate to it. Yes. The days I've done my Kriya and I haven't done my Kriya.
And I also feel that my appreciation and my gratitude towards my parents increased a lot because I started realizing what all goes into parenting, which
Yes.
I used to kind of take for granted earlier and even find faults with earlier sometimes. But then I realized that there are no perfect parents, you can, all the mistakes that I thought my parents had made with me, I had promised myself I will never make them, but I found myself making similar mistakes or sometimes even worse mistakes, and and I realized that it's okay. I may not be the perfect mother, but I love her, and she may not be the perfect child, but she is a beautiful being, and it's all right. And just the same way, maybe my parents were not the perfect parents, but they loved me no matter what. And who else would do that, apart from a parent? No matter what, like true unconditional love, apart from a guru, only your parents can give that. And my appreciation for my parents, like, really, really went up thanks to Adya. And yeah, and I realized, like, sometimes when we were talking about negotiation, so I was thinking of this. My parents used to, when I was growing up, they used to keep telling me in Punjabi, we have these words, lasuda and bhasudi. So they would say, kya lasuda lag gaya tumko, kya bhasudi hai? So it basically means like, I want everything and I want it now. I cannot wait. If I want something, I want it now. And then, Lasura is basically like a leech. You get stuck to something. So, तुमको चाहिए तो बस चाहिए. बस मेरे को ना नहीं सुनना है. And I never realized how difficult it is and challenging it is for parents to deal with that. But now that I have a child and she does that, then no, I want this and I want it. And then, everything is not good for you. You cannot give them everything they want. And then I realized, oh yeah, my parents went through this. And I never understood that then. But now I understand what it is, how challenging that can be, and how you have to figure out just when to say yes, just when to say no, find the balance somehow, and continue.
I'd just like to add a little bit to what Shavina said. My father and me, we love each other a lot, but we also have these very strong egos, okay? In the sense, if I want something from my father, I don't mind fighting with him or going totally cross with him. And there are no apologies or sorries after that. It just continues. That the Cold War continues for a very long time. And then it dissolves. So then I never told my dad that I love him in words, okay? So then just 3-4 days ago, I just felt it so strongly. I actually picked up the phone and I called him and I said, I really, really love you a lot, Dad. And I told him that now that when I'm a parent myself, I really understand what you did for me. And my dad was like silent for a bit. He just went silent. And it took me a lot of time to get him to speak to me after that because he was like choking on his words and there were tears in his eyes. And oh boy, that was really I think this memory is going to stay with me forever. And I really, really think that being a parent makes us understand what all our parents have done for us because we sort of go through it on a daily basis. So
as mothers, you understand what is karma best, no?
Yeah. Totally.
Round comes round.
Interest.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely, with interest.
Can't forget the interest. Okay. So if you have any questions for each other, for me.
So I have a question for you, Dinesh Dada.
Yes.
I only heard stories of you and your mom when I did the course in the early days, and like for the parenting process, some examples of you were given. So that part of it, as to how you were strong on the path and how you convinced your mom, is sort of known to us. But I really want to know how she impacted you as a person that you are today. Of course, there is a big role that Baba played, not denying that. But as a mom, what kind of influence has she had on you?
Getting up in the morning. We had to get up in the morning. There was no two ways about it. Yeah. And of course, all the value systems, being ethical and caring for others. This, I suppose, moms do it best. And they do it not through words so much as with their own uh, own behaviors. And that's what happened with me. And how to deal with parents, I had asked Baba once, and we have that. Of course, parents bring up the children, but children also need to bring up the parents. And Baba said, with love and with patience. So, meaning, don't let them forget that you love them. Uh, Especially in the Indian scenario, we don't express it so much. In the West, it's the other end of the spectrum. They express too much, don't maybe not feel as much. Here we feel, but we don't. Not generalizing, but at the same time, we have to again find the golden mean. So, not letting them forget that you love them, and with a lot of patience, because the patience that they had bringing us up, uh, well, at least even 1% of that we can give it back to them. That would be great. So, as they say, mom is your first guru. When you look into her eyes, that's when you experience that burst of love, and life proceeds. Life begins from there.
Yeah. So I have a questions for the moms out here is about appreciating. See, like a lot of things they appreciate, but as they're growing up, appreciating about food. What I'm seeing is earlier I used to feed her, so she used to not complain much about it, and then everyone used to eat. She used to eat, but now she's on her own. She can handle. She can go into the kitchen, make few things, and she wants to always make junk. So now she knows how to bake cakes, she knows how to make noodles and pasta. I'm okay with it, but how do I make her feel that this food is okay once in a while, but what is our day-to-day food, which a lot of nutrients is has to be valued and eaten with a lot of love. She eats with a lot of resistance. So any I will say solution for that.
All of us have children younger than yours.
So
it
maybe
works.
Pavithra can throw some light on that, because her son is similar in age. This is my pain point also, so I don't know how much I'll be able to help you, Anjana. But yeah, Pavithra, we are hoping for some pearls of wisdom.
Yeah, so what I do with Rishabh is, this lockdown has really helped us appreciate a lot of newer vegetables that were not so favorites. But we try and have, I've introduced him to a lot of things like Karela. Surprisingly, my child likes it more than me. So, probably I'm also a bit unhelpful, but probably try. I've always tried to introduce the vegetables in a different way to him than the usual stuff. Like even if it's burgers, we've tried making burgers with rajma and stuff instead of the regular aloo patty and stuff like that. So I think experimentation is the key, probably. So we can go wrong, but that's okay. I think we are. It would be worth it at the end, to try. I think with children, I think as parents, if we get convinced with certain vegetables, because I think my parents brought me up like that my father would sit next to me till I finished that plate, because he would not tolerate a plate full of food going down the drain. So, we either take food that we're going to eat, and he made sure it's okay. In fact, in the New Year's in Tamil New Year's there in south of India, what they do is they in a banana leaf they serve you this neem pachadi, which is actually bitter and also a sweet pachadi. So the meaning behind is that life is made up of these sweet and bitter moments. So I think as parents, it does involve a lot of patience. Like I never liked my dad doing that when I was small, but I'm very grateful to him. And I say the same thing to my son. I keep telling him, I know you don't like it, but you're going to appreciate it later. So sometimes he reads out, things about these not so happy vegetables. He says, "Oh yeah, they're actually good for us." So if I can hit a 6 with that, then yeah, that you've got it covered.
Yes.
I guess, yes, Amarja, sorry.
So one thing we did as a family, right from the time he started eating food that we do is eat together. And when we eat together, we sort of appreciate food. We say it out and we tell him also that this is this. We never really had a plan to it. We just are like that. We love our food and we talk about it and we eat together. So that also has helped him pick up almost all the vegetables that we eat. Yeah, but then now school has started, his friends have come in his life, so I can see influences. And in few years from now, I'll come to you with the same question.
So, Anjana, what I'm kind of hoping for is that once they grow up a little bit more, maybe I'm just hoping this is a phase, and once they grow up a little bit more, become conscious of of nutrition and nutrition value, because right now they're not thinking of it at all. But once they're studying a little bit more about nutrition at school, about the digestive system and things like that, and also when as they grow up, they will also be more conscious of how they look, how their hair is, how their skin is. I'm just hoping that once that happens, she will automatically jump back to healthier food, and all I can do is pray for that.
Yes.
In the meantime, of course, now I was speaking to her moms and her friends' moms and observing what they do. So I'm making an effort to introduce this with her in this lockdown and all, that like some kind of an award system and reward system, that okay, fine, you want this, again back to the negotiation, but never mind. So you want this, you earn 10 points and then you get it. You don't get it just like that, which I'm hoping will work. It's a new introduction for me. Yeah.
No, as Gurudev says, you become a mom to 10 of their friends, because they will listen to their friends more than us, elders, so to speak. So, and when they are together, when all their friends are together, you can have it like gamify the whole process. Maybe give them neem chutney and tell them you have to eat this without making a face. Who can eat this with a smile? Something like that. Or give them, like all 10 of them, make some game or a play where they have to find 10 foods which are good for skin, which for your face, where 10 things which are going to give energy to you. Yeah. As Pavithra said, with which you can hit a 6 or have that strength. Or 5 things which are good for your eyes will sparkle or your hair will grow longer. When they find out something, as Shavina, you did with Adya, you made her find out a little bit about vegetarian and non-vegetarian food, and she went and saw Baba's video, Make the Moon Smile, and she got so impressed. And so when they do something themselves and involve their peers, their friends, then that is a recipe for sustainability.
Yeah, it's quite fast. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and ownership. Then they own that. Then it's not because my mom is saying it, because I'm going to get points, because whatever. But because I know this is good.
So I have something funny to share here. Couple of months ago, Vasishta got introduced to Peppa Pig. And Pig and George eat a lot of broccoli and carrots. So that made life easier for me as far as the broccoli and carrots are concerned.
Yes. Yeah, that was my problem with Harry Potter. They still eat meat.
Oh, yeah.
I missed.
So something that's been a big game changer for me is I don't know whether, I think it's also it's not very nice to say, but it's quite an Indian thing. We really, really spoon feed our kids, and even when they don't need to be spoon fed, we keep spoon feeding them, and Arna at the age of 5, all her friends eat on their own, and another thing I feel I did a mistake was always giving her some activity to do while she eats, so that I could just keep shoving food down her, and it could be done quickly. And, if it's something she didn't like eating, I would distract her, I would give her a puzzle to do, or sometimes if I was in a rush, I would even give her screen, I'm to watch, so that I could quickly feed her. And one thing that's been a big change for me in this lockdown is now there is nothing on the table other than her food, so she has to, we do a prayer before she eats, which we used to anyways do, but then after the prayer would come an activity. But now we do a prayer and she has to eat herself, and and I tell her, after 20 minutes I'm coming to pick up your plate, and whatever you've eaten, great. Whatever you haven't eaten, now your next meal will be at dinner, if that's lunch, so you better not be hungry. So make sure you have 20 minutes. And then I'll tell her 5 minutes have gone, 10 minutes have gone. So she herself is thinking, oh, I'm not going to get food till dinner now. It might not sound very kind, but it's been a game changer for me, because one, she's appreciating her food a lot more. And two, she's really focusing on what she's eating, And I really allow for, like she likes peanut butter with her bindi, and I'm allowing it, as long as she's eating the bindi and she wants to dip it in peanut butter, I don't care, but she's like, Mama, this bindi and peanut butter is a yummy combination. I'm like, great, so letting her experiment. But literally after 20 minutes, I pick up the plate, and if she's eaten half, she's eaten half. But now so in the first week, it was, I was also thinking, oh my God, should I just extend it a little bit, she's not really looking at the clock. So I would say, oh, even if it was 5 minutes left, I would say 8 minutes left, and I would keep stretching it so she would eat a little more. But then she started noticing that if she doesn't finish in time, that's it. So now she's actually eating 99% of her food in the time frame that she's given. And then again, bribery, everything comes with. After she's done, she's allowed to watch something for 10 minutes, on the screen or something as a reward. But it's worked really well for me. Because in lockdown, I think we all had to come up with a lot of creative solutions, with trying to manage time. So
that was one big bone of contention. Baba and I used to tell her, just remove that screen, remove that iPad from when she's eating. And then, well, now that she has found her own solution, well, that's going to stay.
Actually, I wasn't even the one who introduced the screen, okay, to Arna. My sister introduced the screen to Arna. I remember I was in Delhi and I had gone shopping, and I came back and she's like, oh, Arna ate so well. She finished all her food. And I was like, oh, great. Normally I have to struggle with her. She's like, yeah, I just played Peppa Pig for her and she finished it. I'm like, what? But then I stuck onto her solution that she had found for a while. So.
What else? Anything else? So I just remember. Yeah, go ahead.
So last one question from my side is also that the challenge, I like the screen time, right? Now when they're doing these online studies, so they get a break for 10-15 minutes from one class to another. And I see my daughters are still there without the class being attended. And when I go there, they are watching that 15 minutes are so valuable. They again switch on to YouTube and watch some kind of a cartoon channel and all. So, and then slowly and gradually it has become like an addiction that I see. That 15 minutes, instead of coming, drinking water, meeting us out, they're just there. How do I handle that? The screen time, of course, I've given them their own screen time for 45 minutes after the studies are done, after the schooling is done online. So that 45 minutes is all yours. But I see because of this having gadget in hand for a longer time, they're misusing it.
So what I am doing for this, Anjana, I am having the same issue. So what I did was that I started monitoring. So I would suddenly walk into her room. When I would see that, then I would say, okay, fine. Then that is 15 minutes out of your other screen time. So then, like, she's no, 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 don't do that, don't do that. Okay, fine. That's another 15 minutes off your other screen time. So, so I'm not saying that she doesn't do it at all, but it's come down. Now she gets up, and I told her, because I remember Dinesh keeps insisting, whenever you see any of his videos or otherwise also in the talks, he always says that after a few minutes you should get up. Every half an hour or so you should get up and walk around. So I remembered that, and I told her that, you have to get up, you go take a glass of water, you play with Coco, it doesn't matter, you come and talk with us, do whatever you want, and then you go back. You can't just be sitting in front of the screen. And somehow she listened. I am very surprised, but she did.
I think there's a big market for an app on an iPad or an iPhone, on a phone, where there is a clock which ticks down, and after 30 minutes, after 40 minutes, the screen just shuts off. And then nor mom nor dad can start it. What do you think?
Yes,
So the kids know, okay, this much time is left for me to watch something. Doesn't matter if it's between whatever time.
Yeah, you can do that actually on iPads. You can put a timer, and then it just automatically switches it off.
But you can see the timer, so the child can see the timer, right? Okay, this much time is left for me to watch.
Yeah, there is a way of doing that. My sister uses that. I know Pinky uses that in Botswana for her kids, and so it actually just shuts the iPad down, and then they can't even argue with her or anything.
Exactly.
Education right now, yeah.
Blame it on technology.
Currently, the bane of life is Netflix and television. Too many serials, all addictive.
Okay. So I've had somebody send me this. Being a mom means having to choose between eating, showering, or sleeping. You can't do all three in one day. So tell me, what about me time with kids or with all the things that you do? I mean, you do so many things, not just being a mother, but being a homemaker, Amarja, some of you are working. So maybe this last question about me time. How do you get that?
So initially for me, it was very tough. I lived on my own terms for so long. My time was mine, all 24 hours. So getting used to the fact that somebody else is ruling it day in, day night out was really, really tough to accept. It took me almost a year and a half to accept that properly. Once I accepted, it was easier for me. In the sense, now I have a routine where before 6 a.m. is my time, no matter what time I wake up. If I wake up at 2, 3, 4, 5 or 5:30, any time before 6 in the morning is my time. Likewise, 3 to 5 in the afternoon is my time. So this is something that I've fixed and I don't budge. I'm quite adamant about it and I'm absolutely shameless about it. And I don't mind telling people, you know what, I really need this time for myself. Of course, this has come to me after 4-5 years of experience. And also another thing I do is when it is that the 3 to 5 in the afternoon, my time, I also don't mind doing things that I really love, like baking cakes along with the child, or, doing some artwork along with him, or generally goofing around the house. So that I love. So that way that me time and my time is taken care of. And another thing, I don't know if it's going to be taken kindly by the real sadhaks here. I have definitely compromised a lot on my sadhana time, meditation time. I meditate every day for sure, but sometimes it is the kriya and the sahaj, or sometimes it's only the sahaj. So there is that little bit of adjustment happening. So one thing I've understood is peace of mind is a lot more important than the tick mark. I did kriya today, or I did sahaj today, or I did padma sadhana today, because ultimately all of that is for peace of mind, right? So if I start with peace of mind, then probably I'm going to be much better in the day. That is my solution to the me time part.
So for me, I will say my sleep has been definitely compromised, because I don't want to compromise on my sadhana. So before my world gets up, uh, I see to it that I go inward and do my sadhana for 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So that's one of the thing which sustains me actually for the whole day with my two kids. To be very honest, if I don't do that, I know how I'm going to react with what they throw the tantrums. So sadhana is helping me a lot. In fact, I would say meditation and the practices. The second about the me time is I have forgot about this me time. Whatever I'm doing it, I'm just getting them involved in whatever I do. So even if I'm doing some of my seva, I'll just give some numbers to them. Okay, now Priyamada is getting used to mobile. She loves messaging. I said, why don't you message my participants? you know, so some of my
That's a good one.
just giving it to her. Even the cooking part, so if something that she feels like, "Hey, why don't you cook? You're amazing cook." So I think the praises given to them is making them work for me. So that way I'm managing my time. And of course, the help from Vivek helps me a lot. Like right now, me sitting for here for 1.5 hours, Vivek is taking care. So a support little bit, yeah, gets my me time. Okay.
Perfect Gujju she's, homegrown solutions.
But she got a kissing for
Volunteers.
all the work the child is doing.
Yeah. Don't have enough volunteers? Grow your own, kind of. Hi, Gaurangi.
Say hi to everyone.
So
Hello.
I'll tell you one Gaurangi's story, okay? So one of our teachers, Spandan, she was at home and her husband, somehow Gaurangi took a liking for him. And she was like really hugging him and being intimate with him. And
I used the right word. She's a child.
so can't children be intimate?
Not the way you are making it sound.
So listen to the story. So Spandan says, "ये मेरा है," She is telling Gaurangi, "ये मेरा है." तो Gaurangi says, "Share नहीं करेगी?"
So cute.
So I'll tell you one Guru story also. Gurudev was when Gurudev's mother Amma passed away. It was Amma's 13th day, and Gurudev was sharing some wonderful stories from his childhood. And one kid gets up and takes the mic and says, "But Guruji, my Art Excel teacher says not to talk about the past." Shut the past or whatever. And everybody was like laughing, and Gurudev said, "Oh, but I have not done Art Excel." So it's amazing how Gurudev also becomes a kid. And Gurudev says, once somebody asked him, "Who's your Guru?" He said, "Every child is my Guru." So yes, having children, really, they are like forms of gurus who are around us all the time. Of course, Gurudev is there, but kids play that role. They teach us so many different things. Good.
So true.
So I think moms are made into super moms because of our children's tantrums and all the naughty things that they do, isn't it? Good.
Yes.
Good. So wonderful, all of you.
Just recently, I was putting Arna to bed, and I was like, "Arna, you're 5 years old now. You really should be putting yourself to bed. Mama should not be having to put you to sleep." And she goes, "Mama, this is the first time in my life I am 5 years old. I've still got to learn how to be 5 years old." I said, "You're absolutely right. How do I even argue that?"
Puja, you should write a book about all these.
Yeah.
So some of my students send some lines like that. One mother, she said that having a baby is like having an alarm clock without a snooze button.
It's true. Yeah, I've never needed an alarm now since Arna is born. She is my alarm clock, literally. Yeah.
Okay, I just have one question for Dinesh Dada here.
Mhm.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you interact with so many people. You see so many people from all kinds of backgrounds, and of course, there's a huge chunk of moms everywhere. So, what, according to you, are three things that every mom must do?
So, one is, as Gurudev said, be a mother to 10 of their friends. Yeah? And of course, the 11th would be the husband. Yeah. But really, you
One who never
have to,
grows up.
yeah, actually, we have to, वो था ना, हिंदी में बोलते ना कि गुरुदेव ऐसे लगता है ये बच्चे कब बड़े हो जाएंगे. गुरुदेव बोलते मेरा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि ये बड़े कब बच्चे बन जाएंगे. So it's the other way around actually. We have to grow down. But so that is one thing, being a mother to 10 other friends of theirs. Secondly, children learn a lot. They pick up everything from seeing and listening. So
Yeah.
That is really the only way to teach, is through your own behavior, your own attitudes, your own actions. Yeah? Many a time we say, oh, they are having so much screen time, but they are watching us being on the phone all the time. Yeah? So that is the impression that is going to create in their heads also. You see, so being role models, yeah, knowing that you are a role model. You are a role model as a mother, but knowing that you are a role model, and you are under a lens or a microscope, you are being watched. And third thing, know that you are a best mom. As Gurudev says, every mom is best. So knowing that you are the best mom, and yeah, we go from best to better than the best. Good. So as long as we be in the knowledge and be with our sadhana, then automatically, as many of you shared, our responses to the situation is much much more enlightened than without the knowledge or the meditation or the breathing. Okay, good, wonderful, having all these smiling moms sharing their challenges and their wonderful stories. Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
you.
this. I'm
Thanks,
so
Mom.
happy to interact with all you super moms. Thank you so much for your time.
Lovely chat.
Meeting you all.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's
Super.
good night. Yes.
Yes.
Thanks, Dee. This was good fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. It's always so nice to learn from other moms as well. Get so many tips. It's a continuous growing process.
Yes.
And I think we all should thank our respective partners for taking care of the kids right now. Otherwise, this call would have been another level only.
True.
Yeah,
Good.
that is so true.
All of you are, as I said, subject matter experts, and usually I am the subject. I am the brat. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. 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 Jagdev.
So,
Bye.